Alright, so if you or your family or anyone you know planning to go to Canada via the study route or want to go to Canada via the study route, this is the video for you. I'll break down the steps in applying for schools and the process involved in applying for your study permit. Alright, so this is just a backyard chill video giving you some valuable information. If you haven't known, I have recently gotten accepted to study in Canada, so I'm just going to document my journey so persons looking to benefit from the experience and looking to do the same thing can definitely get through as well. And I'll leave my email in the description if you need any help putting together any of your documents or anything. I can definitely help as well. I'm not a licensed immigration consultant, I'm just giving you my experience, all right, along the way. All right, so the first thing that you will need to do is you will need to identify what you want to study and what school or province that you would like to study in. So in terms of what you would like to study, I would definitely recommend studying one of the in-demand programs. The Canadian immigration, they released recently a few in-demand programs that pretty much will allow you to get that postgraduate work permit after you're done. All right, so once you identify the program and the school that you want to go to, you would then apply to the school. All right, and if you're doing just a diploma or a regular degree, you would need your, in Jamaica we use our CSEC results. If you're doing a master's degree, you would need the previous degree certificate to do that. All right, so I'll be doing a diploma, so I just use my C6 and any other certificates that I had to show my qualifications, and it's nothing really hard. They just want to know that you're basically speaking English. So if you have English, that's good. Depending on what you're doing, you might need maths or something like that, or any other subject that can substitute. But if it's a case that you really don't have any of those, they do have their own entry exams specifically for the school I'm going to that you could take as well if you don't have the specific requirements. All right, so after you do that and you apply and get accepted to the school, there is something that you will need to get from the province called a provincial attestation letter. So that basically is, each province have a certain amount of quota or a certain number of international students that they can accept per year. So when you pay your tuition deposit to the school, they will then initiate that process for you to get that letter, which is vital in your visa application process. All right, so after you get that acceptance, the school will ask you to pay a deposit on your first year tuition. All right, so depending on the school, the amount might vary. I've seen deposits of as little as 3,000 to 10,000 Canadian dollars. So it all depends on the school. All right, so after you pay that, you will get your full acceptance letter from the school and the PAL, the provincial letter, that you can use to apply for your study permit and your visa. All right, so that part, now you will now apply for your study permit. What you will need to apply for your study permit is, the main roadblock for most people is the proof of funds, because that recently rose to about 21,000. You can correct me in the comments if you know the exact figure, but I think it's about 21,000 that you have to have or be sponsored to show that you can take care of yourself for a full year in the country. All right, so either you have that in savings or you have your family member sponsor you or your spouse sponsor you. It can be more than one person's, but you have to have, or for me, I used one sponsor as a backup, and what I needed from her was a pay slip, and I added a photo of her in her working clothes. She's a nurse, to show that she's employed, and she also sent me a bank statement showing that she have some money in her account as well, and then she gave me a letter. So for those things, I can definitely help you to put that together if this is something you're looking to do as well. So apart from that, yes, so the proof of funds is the main thing. Then you will need a statement of purpose letter. What this letter is basically, you will need to explain. So this is like the interview. For the US, you would be in front of the officer explaining your case. But in this case with Canada, you have to write in your statement and purpose letter. So you won't have a chance to explain anything if something is off in that letter. So you have to make sure that everything in that letter is what you want to portray about yourself. For me, it took me about 2 weeks to complete my letter because I wrote it, rewrote it, ran it through softwares to make sure that it's grammatically correct, and changed and tweaked things to make sure it is what the case that I'm putting forward is the best case. All right, for example, if you're in marketing or sales and you want to go and study engineering, which is what pretty much similar to what I've done, that is basically playing in hard mode. It would be easier if you are transitioning into something that matches your background. You won't get as much scrutiny. But for me, I made a good case as to why I was switching, and I have a sample SOP letter as well that I can show you and guide you through as well. You can just reach out to me if that's something you're interested in, and I can help you out as well. So the statement and purpose letter, very important. Another thing you need to show as well is ties to your home country, because you have to show them that you are planning to return to your home country after your studies are completed. Whether that is your plan or not, but this is, you can't say anything other than that. Let's just leave it at that. So ties to your home country could be your kids, it could be your spouse, it could be your job, it could be assets like house, land, cars, or whether you have a business and your business is registered, you can definitely use your business certificate as well. However, just ensure that your taxes are up to date if you're going to use your business, because they will check. And if you say you have a business and you didn't pay your taxes, and you will just shoot yourself in the foot pretty much. So just be careful on that one. And then the next thing is that you would put all of that together in a PDF format. I also added some photographs of me and my family, photographs of my sponsor and I, so they know that we actually know each other, and it's not something that we just put together to say she's sponsoring me. So you just have to be creative. I also added a table to show what the expenses would be, because I did my research to see what the expense would be in that province, and I added that table in my statement and purpose letter to show them that the bus fare for the month, the bus pass is 40 Canadian dollars, the rent is $560 per month because I'll be staying on dorm, the estimated food bill. So I put all of that in a nice little table for them, and then on the other side I put the funds that I will have available to me, to show them that the funds that I have available outweighs the expenses, and that I would also be able to manage. And added to that is that I already paid a deposit to my first year tuition, so I wouldn't have to worry about that as well. So that is my 2 cents. I will definitely be documenting the journey. If you like this kind of content, you can definitely subscribe, share, hit the like button, and let me know what you would like to know about in the next video as I share my journey. Alright, thanks again.